Who is the greatest women's wrestler of all time? That, along with many other questions, are going to be answered by me and you guys in this video, so let's do it. So here's what I did. Over the past week or two, I've been running polls on my YouTube community tab, so if you I do polls like that almost every day, so if you guys want to participate in stuff like this, you should check that every once in a while. And I asked you guys WWE related questions, a variety of different questions, and one of them is, who is the GOAT of women's wrestling out of these four? Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Mercedes Moné. I'll talk about your guys' answers and why you might have thought that, and I'll give you my opinion on whether or not I agree or disagree. So for this one, you guys voted with Rhea Ripley with 53% of the votes. And for me, this is between two ladies, that being Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley. My answer probably about a year or two ago would have been Rhea Ripley, for sure, because she's the most popular woman in WWE right now, the most popular woman in all of professional wrestling, honestly. Obviously, a phenomenal wrestler. She's obviously achieved a lot of great things, but I do think that Becky Lynch is the correct answer here. Maybe it's just been her gaslighting me over the past year, saying, I'm the greatest women's wrestler of all time. Bleacher Report says it. Sports Illustrated says it. ESPN says it. It's not just me saying it. But I really do think that Becky Lynch is the greatest of all time. Becoming the man, that run that she had, and now what she's been doing in the mid-card with the IC title, how much she helped Lyra. Even if WWE didn't capitalize on it, she would make Lyra look great. She did everything right. She gave Lyra the best feud of her career so far. She made that title extremely valuable. She has won the Women's Royal Rumble, former NXT Women's Champion, two-time WWE Women's Champion, three-time Intercontinental Champion, two-time Tag Team Champion, five-time World Champion. However, I will say that I think by the end of both of their careers, between Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley will be the better one. I do think she will end up being the greatest women's wrestler of all time, but considering she is still so young and has so much more to achieve, I'm going to give the edge to Becky Lynch. Who would you rather see turn heel, CM Punk or Cody? Easy to find and hard roads. CM Punk won by an absolute landslide here with 83% of the votes, and I can see why people would think that would be the best option, and who knows, maybe it could be, obviously. I mean, heel CM Punk gave us the pipe bomb, it gave us the Money in the Bank 2011, the Summer of Punk. However, I actually disagree with the majority here. I would rather see Cody Rhodes as a heel, because CM Punk is still super entertaining as a babyface. He's still rebellious and all that good stuff that people love about CM Punk. It's just he's even more rebellious and everything else when he's a heel. With Cody Rhodes, he is the most goody two-shoes guy, especially when he is the WWE champion. And I think it might honestly have a higher ceiling, heel Cody Rhodes. I don't think it'll happen because WWE loves Cody Rhodes being the big good guy, the face of the company, all that stuff. They're golden boy. But I think I'm so tired of babyface Cody Rhodes that I think just seeing him as a heel would be more interesting than it would be to see CM Punk as a heel. However, both of them as a heel would be absolutely awesome and entertaining to watch. Super, very entertaining, I might add. Would you rather take a spear from Braun Breaker or take a coup de grace? Now, up until right before I recorded this video, I was team coup de grace, or I was team spear, because it's a grown-ass man jumping from about, 6-8 feet in the air and landing right on top of you on both of his feet, digging right into your stomach. However, Finn Balor is assuming that Finn Balor is the one doing this, he's a pretty small dude. And I still might be, because I just looked it up, and he's apparently 190 pounds. I'm going to be honest, he doesn't look 190 pounds. I don't know. This is really iffy for me. It's definitely not like a landslide for me. Both could result in broken ribs, which could lead to like a punctured lung. It could probably give you like a hernia. It could crush your organs. Both very similar in the damage that they could do. I think I'll say I'd rather take a coup de grace, because with the Braun Breaker spear, him going like 20 miles an hour could like injure your back. It could give you whiplash. You could get concussed. So I'll say I would rather take a coup de grace from Finn Balor. So I do agree with the majority here, but I do think it could go either way. Which talent is being more wasted, Ilya Dragunov or L.A. Knight? Yeah! LA Knight barely edged out Ilya Dragunov here with 58% of the votes compared to Ilya's 42. And LA Knight has been misused for years. Good things come to those that wait. Constantly getting screwed out of winning world championships. Still has never gotten his one-on-one shot. I mean, the burial is real. Stuck in a celebrity match at WrestleMania 42. Now stuck in a 6-man tag match, which I actually like. But, you know, it's been like 3 years of waiting for a world championship, so I wish we could, you know, do that. As for Ilya Dragunov, it's been a bit more recent about his handling on the main roster. I think he was pretty fairly handled in NXT based off of what I've heard. I never saw him in NXT, but again, based off of what I've heard, it seems like he was handled pretty fairly. I know he tore his ACL, and then when he came to the main roster, returned against Sami Zayn, he was on a roll as United States champion, putting on banger after banger after banger after banger after banger after banger, week after week, running the mid-card division on SmackDown for months on end. And then in the lead up to WrestleMania, slowly starting to be shown on TV less and less, slowly waning down, and then he just fucking despawned. There's no injury that we know about. There's no backstage issues that we know about, but he's just been completely absent from WWE TV for 3 months. The man who was running the mid-card, was the best thing on that show for months, is now been off TV for literally no reason for 3 months. Both of these men are being absolutely disrespected and wasted. However, I will say, just because of the length, and the popularity, and just everything, the good things come to those that wait. I'm going to have to say, I agree with the majority. LA Knight, is being more wasted. The next question is, out of these 4, who will have the most successful WWE career? Lyra Valkyria, Sol Ruca, Roxanne Perez, or JC Jane? I think, before I get into this, I think all of these ladies will, hopefully, knock on wood, have phenomenal WWE careers respectively, and all of them have a lot of potential. Not Lyra. Sol Ruca won with 67% of the votes. Lyra at 25%, Roxanne at 4%, and JC at 4% of the votes. And I think you could honestly make a case for any of these ladies to be the most successful out of these 4. A very strong case at that. Lyra showed how great she can be in her Becky Lynch feud. Sol Ruca, I mean, like the female Javon Evans, just does some absolutely insane stuff. Super over. Lyra's new character is super over. Roxanne is great at the role she plays. Also really, really damn good in the ring. And JC Jane getting some of the loudest, most organic boos alongside Fatal Influence that I have ever heard. Just a phenomenal at playing. I might not personally be a fan of her, but I can acknowledge that she is phenomenal at playing her heel role, and she is a really good wrestler. And I'm not exactly sure why I don't like her. She just kind of like annoys me sometimes, and I don't know why. But after thinking about this for a few minutes, I do think that I agree with the majority here in Ruka. It seems like she has been handpicked by WWE to be the future of women's wrestling. Just so over at NXT, did great things in NXT. As soon as she comes to the main roster, pretty much, winning the Intercontinental Championship, being one of the final 3 in the Royal Rumble, the Women's Royal Rumble, and she deserves it. She is one of the greatest wrestlers, period, I have ever seen in the ring. And I think very, very soon she could be up there with the likes of Io Sky. And this girl is 26 years old. She's only going to be getting better. I think she's going to be a future multi-time world champion. And hell, I could honestly see her main eventing a WrestleMania, which is especially saying something when you're talking about women's wrestling, because they have main evented very few WrestleManias. So yes, I do agree with the majority here, and I do think Ruka will have the most successful WWE career out of these 4. Next, we have the exact same question, but for the men's side of things, this time with Dominic Mysterio, Trick Williams, Ricky Saints, and Javon Evans. Dominic Mysterio won with 75% of the votes, and Trick Williams at 25%. And I do think it is between these two in this, in these 4 people things. Yeah, just had a stroke there, but this is tough. Dom, I think a lot of people thought would be the future cornerstone of the WWE, son of Rey Mysterio, obviously has the talent to be a main eventer, but as of recent, he has not been booked like so. And it's about the complete opposite for Trick Williams. He has been booked like a future megastar, a future WrestleMania main eventer. Dom went from beating the likes of John Cena, being double champ Dom. He was even triple champ at one point, holding the AEW championship. And then, yeah, he got injured, but even now when he's came back for the past 6 months, he has just been treated terribly. Lost the title to Penta, who's been doing great things with it, the Intercontinental Championship title. He's just been getting jobbed out recently. And even in AAA, where he's literally the AAA Mega Champion, the top champion of the brand/company, he's just not appearing on TV up until like the past 2 weeks. But I don't think... I'm not going to let the recent booking of Dom decide it all. And I do think both Dom and Trick Williams will have extremely successful WWE careers, and honestly, so will Ricky Saints and Javon Evans, the other 2. But I will say Dominic Mysterio. So I do agree with the majority of 75% here. Staying on the topic of Dominic Mysterio, who would you rather see get pushed to the main event scene in 2027? Dirty Dom, Daddy Dom, or Jordan Grace? Jordan Grace just barely edging out Dominic Mysterio by 1 vote, with Jordan Grace at 60% and Dirty Daddy Dom at 40%. Both of these 2 are main event worthy. Both of them, I think... Well, I'm not so sure about Jordan Grace, but I think Dom will eventually get to the main event scene. And I'm worried about Jordan Grace, not because I don't think she's good enough or talented enough, but because I don't think WWE sees the value in her. Based off of how she's been booked ever since she came to the main roster, with the exception of her like very first feud almost being with Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship. Ever since she lost that at Elimination Chamber, I think, or maybe it was SmackDown before or after Elimination Chamber, she's just been doing nothing. She got injured, came back, still doing nothing. She didn't even return on SmackDown. She returned on an episode of Main Event. I'll say Jordynne Grace just because I'm more concerned for if WWE actually would do it. I'm basically 100% sure, hopefully knock on wood, that they would just do it with Dirty Dom at some point. But with Jordynne Grace, I'm really not so sure. So I do agree with the majority here of 60% and say I would rather see Jordynne Grace get pushed to the main event scene in 2027. Who would you rather see Roman Reigns face at WrestleMania 43? Dwayne The Rock the Dwayne Johnson Bloodline Rules, or Obafemi? And The Rock just barely won here with 58% of the votes. And I'm going to just say straight up, I agree. There is not going to be many more opportunities for The Rock versus Roman Reigns. There is very, very few at this point. And if they are able to get The Rock, if they see an opportunity to do it, they need to strike. You're going to have a lot more opportunities to do the Roman Reigns versus Obafemi. You are not going to have a lot of opportunities left for The Rock versus Roman Reigns. And this is like the biggest available dream match in WWE right now. I mean, so much history to explore. The bloodline, they could insult each other about the bloodline. It could be tribal combat, it could be bloodline rules. It could be for the Ula Fala. It could be for the retirement of The Rock. Just so much to explore, so much to do with The Rock. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot you can do with Obafemi too. It will be a star-making moment, and I think this will be the passing of the torch moment. The torch was passed from Hogan to The Rock to Cena to Roman, and now it can be passed from Roman to Oba. And when this does inevitably happen, it is going to be a star-making moment for Obafemi, but I think they should hold off on this for a bit longer if The Rock is available. Staying on the topic of Roman Reigns matches, though, who would you rather see win at SummerSlam? Roman Reigns or Seth freaking Rollins? Roman Reigns won this one with 64% of the votes pretty comfortably, and I do think there is a fair argument for both sides of this. If Seth Rollins wins, you get the possibility of Seth Rollins versus LA Knight. Yeah! We get to potentially see a full Seth Rollins World Heavyweight Championship reign without him getting injured. Seth Rollins will also probably be more full-time. He'll be there more often to defend the title, to have promos about the title. As with Roman Reigns, he'll probably show up only on fairly big PLEs. I could be wrong. He went full-time this summer, but I'm probably not wrong. If Roman Reigns wins, you get Roman freaking Reigns on your TV as champion. You get the biggest possible matches when it comes to star power. Also, why in this picture is Seth Rollins wearing Milky Way Galaxy pants? But anyways, you get potentially Rock versus Roman for the title. You get Rock versus Oba for the title potentially. So I do think there is a good case for both of them, but I'm going to say I would rather see Roman Reigns win. That might just be me being biased because he's my favorite wrestler of all time, and I love my tribal chief. But I do think that he would give us, even if he's part-time again, he would give us the best possible matches, and he makes the title unbelievably important. Not to say Seth Rollins doesn't, but it doesn't really get much more important than Roman Reigns as a champion. If Rock the Dwayne Johnson returns at SummerSlam, would you rather see him confront Cody Easy to Find and Hard Rhodes or Roman Reigns? So basically, would you rather see Cody versus Rock or Roman versus Rock? And well, I do want to see both of these matches, and I wish they didn't just fucking waste the entire Cody Rhodes and Rock feud. Him getting beaten outside his bus in the rain. Look at your boy, Mama Rhodes. Look at your son. Look at the blood. Slamming him into the bus. All that, whipping him with the belt. They just threw it all away so that they could have some drinks together. I mean, I absolutely hated that, but most of you guys picked Roman Reigns with 78% of the votes. And I desperately want to see Rock and Cody get paid off. They kind of tried to play into it or revive it. I'm not really sure. They kind of played into it, or no, they kind of revived the Rock and Cody hatred by having The Rock be like, I want your soul. And then he does the thing, cuts his throat, tells John Cena to kick him in the ball sack. He does it. No more kids for Cody Rhodes. Bada bing, bada boom. The Rock disappeared. But honestly, I'm willing to just forget all of that Netflix premiere bullshit where they're just bestie boos. If they do this match, I'm willing to forget it because it is a match I really want to see, and it's a dream match. I want them so badly to pay off this feud, but The Rock versus Roman Reigns is the biggest possible match in WWE right now, and it is my absolute dream match. Two of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I would rather see him confront Roman Reigns. But yeah, if you want to see another video of this, you let me know in the comments. I think this was a lot of fun. Thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want, and